OBS just looks like ancient software that never updates, you know?
No, they're cool. Okay, we're live. Now we're live.
And we're live. Okay, cool. Well, let's get this party started then. I want to praise Olivia for taking on the the governance of Param parties and how we're going to make the decisions. I want to praise Mitch, Lauren, Zepp, Chewy, and Nuggin for the awesome work that they're doing, taking on all the Param party hosts. Hosting and getting these slots on the board. I want to praise Vitor, YGG, Sam, Nuggin, Fabio, Pedro, Nate, Lauren, Mitch, and Zepti, Mount Manu, and Marco, of course. And so much extra praise to Vitor for really all the work that has happened in Params, they've just done such an incredible job. And the Param parties are like seeming to be one of the coolest things that we've done yet. So it's just so much praise for that. I also want to praise Zeptimus for always being on it to record calls. I want to praise Acid Laser for always being on it to put out the graphics for all the YouTube videos and keeping our YouTube so clean. I want to praise Ivy for always doing all this. There's so much work that is happening all the time, every week. People don't miss their calls. People continue to love on this community, and I just want to give all the praise to that grind that's happening. And with that, I'll pass to Tam, who's always on hosting all the retrospectives and all these awesome sprint updates.
So I just want to duplicate the Params party hosts, Mitch, Lauren, Nuggin, Zep, and Griff. I think that's the most important thing that we're doing right now, or one of the most important things that we're doing right now, and I'd love to see the calendar full. I want to praise Nate and Vi and Mateo for getting Boardroom up. I want to praise Livia for always caring so much about our community and making sure that we stay culture forward in this community. And I'll pass to Acid Laser.
Thanks, Tam. So I want to praise to Zero for integrate very well to the comms team and learn how's our Twitter going. Praise to Livia and Katarina for what they are been doing with the decision-making infographics. Praise Juanqua for his commitment with the Graviton training and the MBC book club. Praise Chewy and Ivy for always taking care that everything is well executed at comms, and Ekene for considering me to help him with some designs for comms stack. And I pass it to Septi.
Thanks, Acid Laser. Yeah, I want to give praise to Griff, Mitch, Lauren, Nagel, Vitor, Pedro, Fabio, and Manu for the amazing work with the dashboard. This is so fun, so thank you so much, guys. I also want to give praise to Juan for backing up this call and every Gravity call related, and he's also thinking of buying a second monitor, so yeah, thank you so much, Juan. Praise to Chuy, Acid Laser, Ivy for keeping the tweet on date even after David stepped out. I want to give praise to Edu for the fun work session we did on the Discord and forum analytics. I want to give praise to Vibe for all the work he's doing behind the scenes. I want to give praise to Tam, Libby, Griff, Nate, and Mitch for having a deep source that enrich our culture. And with that, I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, Zepti. Yeah, I want to praise Tam and Mateo and Vive for help with the boardroom. I want to praise Lauren, Mitch, Griff for all the work that you've done in parameters and the parameter parties. I want to praise Wonka for all the gravity training that he's been organizing these past couple of weeks. It's been a huge success. I want to praise Edu for all of the work that he's been, just the overall approach that he's been had towards onboarding and making sure everybody's oriented and getting new people to participate. And I want to praise Chewy for all the work that he's been doing with the comms DAO. Everything has been shaping up really nicely over there, so it's really cool to watch. And I will pass it to David.
Good morning, everybody. I want to praise the Params party folks from Saturday, or not Saturday, the most recent one. That was excellent. I want to praise the programmers and engineers that are actually coding this stuff. I wish I knew their names, shadowy secret supercoders or something like that. I think I want to praise the comms crew for helping me transition and staying part of the tech. I want to praise Ivy for her meticulousness and ensuring that the publications look ultra professional all the time. And with that, I will toss it over to Wonka.
Thanks, David. Yeah, I would like to praise Durgadas for this week Graviton training. I would like to praise Eduardo and Chuy for making a pitch of the TEC in Forefront DAO. I would like to praise Septi and Ivy because they keep always all the information really polished and accessible to the community and to everyone in the space. I want to praise Tam because I feel her management with the stewards have been great, and Mitch, Lauren, and Griff for hosting the Param parties. Mount Manu for being the next week Graviton training facilitator, and for Nate and David for the awesome moments that they are having in their lives. And I will pass to Chuy. Did you go?
Thank you, Juanca. I would like to praise Griff, Mitch, Nugget, Lauren, Juanca, Viva V, and Nate for hanging out in Param parties. Hope to see you there more often. Rodri Castillo for the mind-blowing flyers for Param parties. You're going to be seeing more of those. Ivy, Acid Laser, Zero, and Septi for comms contributions. Ivy for her initiatives in comms, like triple praise. We don't know what we would do without you. Durgadas for his for leading this week's Graviton training, and also oops, my time is up, but Kim for being here, who is Uncle Bim Bim. I'll pass it to Cam.
Who did you pass to?
Cam?
I went already. Who didn't?
Pick me. Pick me.
Lauren.
Lauren.
Great. Thanks, Chewy. Thanks, Tim. I want to praise Marco, Vitor, Mitch, and Griff for doing the AMA call about the dashboard, the comment stack. I want to praise whoever's doing the Params tweets. The Param parties tweets are so great. And I guess Rodri for making the graphics for that. That's so cool. I was going to say whoever made those graphics. Rodri's amazing. I'm so glad he's also helping out here. I want to praise Zepti for being super supportive and coming to my Param party, and we hashed out a bunch of proposals. It was such a great time. And I want to praise Mitch for coming up with radical conviction voting parameters that just rocked the boat. And now we have all kinds of new inspiration. And I want to praise Durgadas for the gravity training, as well as Wonka for keeping all of the gravity training organized. I'll pass to Livia, right?
Thank you. I want to praise Chewy, Tim, Griff, Juanca, YGG, Zaptimus, Marcus, Marco, Craig, Jess, Nate, Suga, Soul Sister, Santi, Ivy for the infinite contributions they brought and continue bringing as community stewards. I want to praise all the Params team for working on something that makes everyone in this community so proud. Praise Griff for the quick guidance he gives me every time I need. Praise YGG for his genuine, wise, and spontaneous ways to communicate and show up to things that always inspire me. Praise Durgadas for his grounding and knowledgeable presence. Edu for carrying the onboarding flag with love and dedication. Zaptimus for being a pillar for our community. Christopher for being for keeping the momentum with the reward steward. Getting confused with what I'm reading, with the reward system, and for being an example of organization, communication, and simplicity. Mitch for the dynamism he holds to all the working groups he's involved in by bringing tasks to the finish line with calm and steady pace. Nate for bringing boardroom up. Peter for being a hero in the reward system research group, organizing and digesting a lot of information. Angela for the success of the Token Engineering Academy that has 3 learning opportunities open at the moment. So Sista for being our ethics guardian. Katarina and Acid Laser for the amazing progress on the decision-making visuals. Did the bell didn't ring yet?
Yeah.
I think I'm over time.
Yeah, it rang some seconds ago.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Sorry. I pass to Uncle Bing Bing.
Oh, hello. Sorry, this is my first community hall. I just want to praise all of you. Thank you for the good vibes. It's 4 a.m. here in Australia, so I just want to say thank you for having me. And pass it to whoever's next.
Edu.
Thank you. I want to dish praise to the following newcomers who have interacted with us on the past week: Taxil, Jonas, Jerome, 0x, Emma13, BFA, Anson Parker, Javi Guns, Grail, Stress, Jugat, and A Man with Wings. Thank you so much for joining our community. I want to dish praise to Uncle Bim Bim because you actually were one of the people who responded to the new member calling for joining this call today. I want to praise Jean for being productive and engaging with us and going to the forefront to shadow Shui. I want to praise Shui for going to the forefront call and to present the TEC. I want to praise LBS, MS, Gideon for the onboarding journey process. I want to praise to Aloysius for keeping herself always present and for her contributions. And that will be all. I will pass it back to you, Griff.
Wow. We have so much time this call. This is very exciting because there's so much to talk about. So let's just dive in. So welcome to Community Call 55. Yes, we've been at it for a long time now. I'll get to that in a second. I guess my first slide is, of course, thank you all so much for that beautiful praise session. If you want to dish praise, you can do it anytime. We have this awesome Discord channel. You can actually dish praise in any Discord channel. If you've never dish praise before, though, we have to give you the power. So message if you want to try out praise and dish praise whenever you want. It doesn't have to be just Thursday. Just message us and we can give you message basically everyone on this call, and we can give you the power of praise. It's actually a very special event. This is our first birthday, huh? How cool is that? We a year ago, at least according to YouTube, we had our first community call. So, and look at all those friendly faces. I see me, and there's Sam, Zepti, Wonka, Olivia. We got Blair and Paulo, YGG, Santi, Jess, like the whole crew. You know, we've been at it for a long time, and I think it's always good, of course, to celebrate our achievements. 1 year of community calls. Also, another achievement, hey, $1.5 million worth of wrapped X-Dice sitting in our DAO. How cool is that? We are working on figuring out what to do with it at Param parties. So we'll see how that goes. And also, I always want to recommend that if you feel any kind of weirdness between people, really help us out. We have this awesome Gravity community. And they're just bored because we don't have enough conflicts, guys. Can you step it up? Help us out. We need something to do. Like if you see somebody getting somebody's name wrong, if you see like some kind of awkwardness, like, you know, I feel like those two people could use a little bit of extra love. You know, we could strengthen that relationship somewhere, anywhere. We have the space, we have the time. We are training gravitons for the whole community, and they have nothing to do over here. Help us out. Fill out the form. Tell us how we can do better, and let's make this the best community that exists, if we're not already. Okay, and then the other thing is advice process. Advice process is how we stay so lovey-dovey. If we are a decentralized community, everyone who's taken on tasks have to make decisions. Sometimes those decisions have impact on a lot of people. Before you finalize the decision, before you say, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do, go get more information. Go talk to the other people. Go ask the people who will be affected by that decision, and ask the people who you think might have expertise in that topic. And then you'll have all of those opinions where you don't just do what they say, because sometimes they'll even give you conflicting things. You do what you want, but with the advice process. You're the person who's responsible for carrying the flag and making the decision. But go get advice. Seems basic and simple, but I can't tell you how many times I've stuck that stick into my front wheel. And the other thing is our mission. So our mission, our goal is to become a Schelling point for the token engineering community. Our economic layer will fund projects that discover, develop, and proliferate the best practices for engineering safe tokenized economies, while also aligning our collective success with the individual benefit of token holders. Our social layer, though, is the most important, as it will unite the token engineering field around ethical principles, standards, tools, and methodologies that emerge from this nascent field as this nascent field advances. And so with that, pass it to the Steward of Stewards. Tam, take it away.
Hey, so, all right. On the first slide, just shows you that we are ending Sprint 20 now. So we've been together for 40 weeks, which means two things. One, that we had our retrospective today, and two, that we're going to start our planning for Sprint 21 tomorrow. I'd like to thank Durgadas and Anson for showing up in our sprint retrospective today. That's always really cool when we have new people joining in. And all of our events are open to everyone in our community. The sprint planning happens every other Friday. Sprint retrospective is every other Thursday, alternating with the Stewards Council, and our weekly meeting is every Wednesday. And on the next slide, I want to share, maybe I'll share my screen now as well, the retrospective. Oh, sorry. Okay, here. So today was the last day of our sprint. So that means it was the day for us to do our retrospective. You know, Scrum theory is founded on empiricism and lean thinking. So from empiricism, you know, knowledge comes from experience. You know, we make decisions based on what we've observed and what we see happening or things that we want to address. And then lean thinking is just focusing on the essentials and reducing weight. So every 2 weeks, we come together and we look at everything that has actually really worked well for us in these 2-week periods, everything that we think we could do better. And then lastly, pick one of those actions, you know, focus on one thing that we want to do well in the next sprint. So it's always a very interesting part of our process. And I think the clear winner was promotion of our Params parties, especially framing it as the education that it is. It's really live token engineering and anyone can do it. And it's really cool that we can offer that to people. Speaking of education and token engineering, I want to put on everyone's radar that the TE Academy has 2 new Introduction to Token Engineering workshops coming up. They're going to happen on Thursday, November 11th and December 15th. And there's a link here, I believe, where you can jump on and register for one of these events. If you're in Token Engineering Commons, you're probably interested in token engineering. And if you haven't taken this course yet, it's really amazing. I strongly recommend you register for one. And if you're interested in other things that Token Engineering Academy is doing, they have a lot of research and workshops that are open. They do have a newsletter. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, you will always be one of the latest informed of what they are doing. Okay, what else can I say? What was on the steward's mind this week? So in our weekly, we covered a number of things. Maybe perhaps what I think is the most important is refining our offboarding process. I've referred to it before, and as we are looking at funding and creating a stipend for stewards, we really started to think about, well, what does it mean to be active and what does it mean to be not so active? And who should be compensated for their stewardship? When we come down to like what's important in stewardship, we come down to 3 things. And one is active and present, servant leader, and in the know. And in the know means that they know what's happening in the TEC and they can represent TEC well outside of our community. So we've looked at introducing time-bound terms. Every 6 months, we would have a natural expiration of stewardship and a reaffirming if somebody wants to continue to be a steward, or just a natural expiration, almost like your driver's license expires, and if you don't renew it, well, you don't have a driver's license anymore. So it's this sort of thing. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. We're starting to implement this process now too. And so we'll have our first offboarding ceremony for some stewards who have not been very active in our community next Thursday during our Stewards Council. If you want to know what's going on in the TEC, very high level, there's two great places to jump to read every time they come out. One is the Medium post that has a update of a lot of the things that the TEC is doing, the lounge, the orientation call, the book club, content workshops, ways for you to get involved in a contributor fashion or just to sort of socialize with people in the TEC. And the other is Manu's weekly working group update on the forum. He's been super at making sure that this gets published every week, and I really appreciate it. And then last is there is a book club that is Australia time zone friendly, Uncle Bim Bim. So unfortunately, it's not US time friendly. So it's just someone in Australia, someone in Africa, and myself at the moment. But if people are interested in reading The Sovereign Individual along with us, it would be very cool for you to join us. And so I'm going to stop sharing. I want to say when I look at this number, 460, I know that we have more contributors than 460 now, and I'm really looking forward to getting the true number of people that have contributed to the TEC for everyone next week. And with that, I'll pass to Juan Carlos and Gravity Working Group.
Thanks, Tam. Hello, everyone. In the Gravity Working Group, we are trying to promote conflict management competence in the space. And for that, we are having the Graviton training, in which we are next week going to start the 7th session. And this week we had the 6th session led by Durgadas, and next week's session is going to be led by Mount Manu, and we are going to be talking about the psychology of leadership. And yeah, I personally I'm finding this training especially enriching because of all the different facilitations that we have had. That's amazing because that gives like different points of view, and that makes me like place also in the position of learning, and that's I thank a lot for that. And also, if you like challenges, if you like hard things, try to practice nonviolent communication. So that's why we are reading the book of Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. And after this call, we will be talking about chapter number 5 that talks about something really hard, something sometimes we don't do. And besides understanding it, it's the hard part, and the next level is like practicing it. So yeah, everyone is invited. We are managing the tickets to give support on conflictive situations with a ZenHub repo. And we are also facilitating in some of the tea lounges. We like to participate. They are really great that they are before the tea labs. And there's a lot of ways you can contribute. If you like it, I know that there's a lot of people already that approach to me or any of the Gravitons. Feel free to talk with us and to contribute to this project that is aiming to become a commons in itself. Like we are born in a commons, but we want to become also commons. So yeah, it's great to be learning and to be reproducing all these ideas in the community. And I will pass to Common Swarm.
Thank you, Wonka. So Common Swarm, we have a weekly sync on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually in the One Hive Discord, so that's because it's really a One Hive community that we're partnering with to make all this magic happen. Not too many major updates this week. It's really just head down, trying to repair the bonding curve that we had an audit of, and we're finally getting to a place where we can really dive in and actually distribute work, which is great. So 5IV and Nuggin, major praise for taking on, and Metaverde for taking on some issues in the bonding curve. So that's super cool. The EVM CRISPR is always improving. There was some progress this week. Also, there is a vote up right now. It's nothing major. This is, again, this like trying to get this 75%, or no, sorry, trying to get the TEC minted and burned for the community members that wanted to change their addresses. So this vote actually will allow the reason the last vote didn't work and the vote before that didn't work is now because the voting app didn't have the power to transfer money. And so this vote allows it to transfer money to reimburse people passing votes for their toll gate fee. So that's super cool. And very happy to get that one through. Hopefully this time, once this passes, we can execute all 3 votes because all the permissions will be there. And this was really actually a great learning experience. And now we're working on EVM CRISPR so that before making a vote, you can know if the vote will pass. And then that will help you because we could have added all of these permissions in that first vote. So this is a part of being on the bleeding edge. We get to learn all these lessons and improve our tools. Also, just because of some of these lessons and EVM CRISPR and a few things that are coming up, it's very likely that we're going to have to take out the 75% governance give back from the scope of the launch, and that will have to be an upgrade after launch. And so that will be end up being a DAO vote. It's unless we have some kind of crazy debates or something that delays the launch, we are going to just focus on getting everything else out and cut that from the initial scope. And then once we have the demos and everything working, we will, until it actually launches, we will focus on trying to get that out and trying to bring it into the launch at the last minute if we can, if it's safe. But unfortunately, the governance give back solution is a lot of work, and it's just not able to be scoped adequately. So those are the updates from Common Swarm, and I will pass it to Olivia for the SoftGov.
Thank you. So SoftGov, we meet every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Europe time. And this week we didn't have a meeting for the reward system task force because we changed the time to fit more people. So now the new time is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Europe time. And there are many things developing on the sides. Mitch is working on putting some of the information we already have in the Git book. And we have drafted all of the steps we need for the committee. So we'll have a reward system committee, and we have a few processes that are in place for us to get everything we need to get that moving. And more updates on that will come next week when we have a little bit more of the things solved. And we also need some developer help. So if you're a dev, if you know devs that want to jump in and get involved in the TEC, let us know. You can talk to me or with Christopher, and we'll find or with Griff, and we'll find a place for you. And on the other side of the reward system, that is the Token Engineering Academy and governance process we're having. So we have a reward system research initiative that's going to start in the middle of November. So it's very soon. And there are 2 updates about that. So one of them is that the TEC is about for being a case partner, because we are, like, since the beginning designing this initiative together with the TE Academy. But we have a few other case partners. So we have Ocean Protocol and the Near Foundation. And now we are submitting a proposal to Gnosis. It's in the 2nd phase already. Gnosis has this 3 steps governance process. And the proposal is there. you can read everything about how things are going to work. And if you're in the Gnosis community or in their discourse, it will be really helpful to vote for us to have more support and pass this, and this will benefit all of these communities because we'll have so much more insights about reward systems and how to be decentralized, how that affects governance, and all of these questions that there's so much interest on it. And also, anyone can sign up for being a part of the research group. So I think it closes on this applications close on the 7th. So we have a week, a little bit more than a week, and it will be really cool, really exciting to see TEC members there. And then on, oh, I didn't put the link here, but we have Boardroom. So Nate put up Boardroom today with the help of Mateo and Tim and ViViV, I think. So we have this now. We're going to be using it more. We have more proposals going as we can fill this up with more information. Add the TEC calendar here, the TE calendar. And it's just a great place to have all the information we need for voting, for keeping up with governance in the TEC. So more information on that will come soon. And this is just a sneak peek on, it's just like a first draft that Katarina made with the help of Acid Laser. So we're gonna have this ready probably next week as the decision-making process is also getting finished, and this will look more clear as well. And here always the governing the commons, 8 principles for governing the commons. If you're curious, check it out. And I'll pass to Edu with Comunitas.
Thank you, Libby. Hello, everyone. So we meet in Comunitas working group on weekly things, Mondays, 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. AST. We also held the orientation call on Wednesday, 6 p.m. In case you're new, in case you have questions, you can join this call at any time. And then we have TEC Lounge on Fridays, 5 p.m. TEC Lounge, it's just a hangout space. You can just come and chill, talk about your week, what was your mood for this week, or what did you do, what was the movie you saw, and so on. So go to the updates. We basically have improved the process for the onboarding journey. We are getting there, so probably we'll be ready for next week. We have identified these 3 steps: the verification, the guide, and the survey. The guide, it's a fixed channel on our server, and the survey, it's a DM that gets sent to people. Right now, we have implemented already the survey and the verification, but it will get revamped and sort of being more cohesive. Also, we have for the incoming outreach, we will do the outreach for the Params party and so on. So look forward to receive a message from us reminding you about the Params party. And then we also work, I will share my screen for this. Give me a moment. Septimus and I worked on this small presentation. It's community data. We did this in order to have data before implementing the new onboarding journey, so we could understand how the onboarding journey will sort of improve our numbers or how it will affect the community. So this is just basic numbers of how many members we have, how they arrive to our server, if they come by discovery or by invitation, how many people arrived. We are talking about August and September. October metrics are not ready yet. So it's very general information. We have a quite nice metric. We have the metrics from the hatch. A lot of people joined for the hatch, and there hasn't been a huge decrease after the hatch, meaning September and October. There is very interesting data from this. We will talk about this graphics more in the Comunitas working group. If you want to know more, you can join the call on Monday. But just in general aspects, we have one about levers, and we have very few levers in the server, which is a nice thing. People doesn't leave us, so that's good to know. And we also have like how are the interactions in between new members? What is the percentage of participation? How often they visited more than 3 channels, and how often they talk or voiced. And we had an increase from August to September on that sense. And also, if members stayed after their first week, did members stay or they left? So that's also an interesting graphic to know. And my personal highlight from this graphic is that we have referral coming from Reddit. So somewhere around Reddit, we were mentioned. I don't know where, I don't know how, but we were mentioned on Reddit somehow. So that's my highlight from these graphics. I will stop sharing my screen. Besides that, on Comunitas working group, we have worked and progressed on the funding proposal. I hope that with time help, it will be ready for next week or somewhere along those lines. And then again, you are welcome to join the orientation call and the TEC lounge, and that will be all. Looking forward to see everyone who wants to participate on Comunitas working group on Monday's sync. I will pass it on to Omega.
Does anyone know the latest on Omega?
Shabnan said she updated the slides today, and she had a family obligation, so she couldn't be here. But the big news is that the next call is going to be on 4th of November, and they're going to share some of the TE ethical principles that are emerging. So up to now, there has been all of this work investigating what are the ethical principles of token engineering, and there are some that are starting to pop up as foundational ethical principles. So if you want to learn more about it and get to know what are the latest findings in ethical TE, come to the next call, November 4th. Pass to YGG is also not here.
I can take on labs, though. I always love shilling labs. I wish I could go to more of these events. There's just so many of them that it's hard to even keep track. Hey, guess what? There is the classical data science token engineering. That does happen here, too. Not just the cultural token engineering. And YGG is really leading the way with TEC labs. So there's the reward system research, which is happening on Fridays at 9 a.m. West Coast time, 6 o'clock in Europe. So it's here in the Discord. This is a really fun call. You want to how do we reward team members and contributors? Really interesting stuff. If you want to dive into the data science behind it, and all the calls for the labs are all on YouTube. So don't be shy. Dive in, and you can catch up real quick. This starting in about 2 weeks. Meta Verde is going to lead a Solidity study group. She's basically going to go through crypto zombies, but do it with a community vibe. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to get down and dirty with Solidity, I'll tell you, if you want to learn any kind of programming language, Solidity is the one. I don't know anyone who knows Solidity well that doesn't have a really nice job right now. Just throwing that out there. Praise Evolution Task Force is happening on Thursdays, also here in the TEC Discord. At 7 a.m. West Coast time for those early birds, or 4 p.m. For Europe. Governance is killing it, of course, and there's a registration for the rewards research group, which will kind of be the predecessor of all of these, which will follow up on all of that rewards research, and that's starting at the same time as the Solidity classes that Meta Verde is teaching. And then there's the DAO to DAO models workshops that happen on PrimeDAO's Discord. PrimeDAO is another very aligned organization with the TEC. So they're working on DAO to DAO models, which are super cool, thinking token swaps and other opportunities that we could share, maybe even voting on the same proposal. That's really the proposal inverter work. And then Token Spice is a modeling software. This would be heavy on the Python side, but Token Spice is super cool. You can use it to model DeFi systems really easily. It's very tuned for just creating those kinds of models. That happens on Mondays. with the Token Engineering Academy in the Token Engineering server. And there's more. There's also the Block Science open office hours. Go in there and just ask any questions about CAD or modeling, or often it turns into some kind of like philosophical discussion about the meaning of tokens. No, about all sorts of interesting things. So always fun to listen to Zargam rant and join in. And then Longtail Finance also has open office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays in their Discord. So lots of data science opportunities, lots of things to learn about and understand if you want to dive into the classic token engineering. And with that, I'll pass it to Chewy from Comms.
Thank you, Griff. In the communications working group, we meet every Tuesday. And right now, some of the stuff that we're working on are we're going to be organizing parameter parties in closed communities. So if you don't know what this is a very interesting take from the TEC on collaborative economics. So yeah, make sure you come to one of these. You're going to be listening a lot about these in the next few weeks. We're also doing a lot of creative onboarding. So if you're new to the TEC, make sure you ping us after you go through orientation. We're looking right now for project managers, graphic designers, social media managers, animators, and yeah, pretty much any kind of creative talent. We're trying to put together a team which is going to be providing communication services to token engineering related products as a public good. So we're going to need a lot of help from different kinds of creatives. Make sure you give us a message. And yeah, we hope to see you next in the next working group call on Tuesday. I'll pass it now to Septi with transparency.
Thanks, Chuy. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every 2 weeks on Monday. Our next call is not this Monday, but the next one. And yeah, we were working with Comunitas and building this Discord and forum analytics that Edu presented before. And we also have a link, like we finally customized the link. So everyone, like if they are missing they cannot join the call, they just join this link and yeah, and they are going to be, we are already there. And yeah, I didn't put it there, but we were also working on the auditing the credentials for me and Ivy do it like every 2 months, something like that, like auditing the credentials. And now we have to work on how to offboard people when they are not using the credentials anymore. But yeah, that's something that we are going to do probably next week. And with that, I'll pass it to legal working group.
Sure, and I can take on legal. There's really not much going on. I think that we are meeting this week, though. I believe that we have a legal meeting. It's really just the terms and conditions for the ABC, running through those every week. And although I think this might be the last week that we bother with that. And we're going to create a working group funding proposal to just really, it's going to be a simple one, just to put a pot of money aside for legal issues if it's ever there, and have a little multi-sig chilling so that we can always have legal money on the ready. Don't have to wait for conviction voting if there's a pressing issue. And with that, I will pass it to myself for Params working group. We meet every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. on Europe time. Although, man, warning, time zones are changing this week, so we'll see how this works with the TEC. We should have talked about that one in our Stewards call. But we also have this 4-hour hack session on Sundays in the afternoon. So we're probably only going to do this for another 2 weeks. Params. This week we'll actually have a Param party during the session. So it's a great week to come. And we did it. The dashboard is so close to done. And all I can do is say thank you so much to Mitch, Marco, Nuggan, Lauren, Mount Manu, Vitor, YGG, Sem, and Fabio and Pedro and Nate and Zepti and So this was a huge team effort. The dashboard is there, but remember, it links to all these forum posts that has all this content creation. It links to Lauren gave her voice to read the blogs. There's so many little pieces. It's not just the developers, although of course those guys are rock stars too. If you see anything that's an issue and that can be improved, please make issues. We are still beta testing it a little bit this week. It's good enough to play, but it's going to be a lot better next week. And your issues are what will make it better. And major praise to Vivavi for the meme. We are not going to have a demo, but we do have a new config link. So config.tecommons.org. If you haven't been there before, go check it out. And the param parties are happening. They're wild. They're a lot of fun. Really cool things are emerging. Random things like major orogeny is, I don't know how to say it, Nate, but that was a genius move. The conviction voting blew my mind. The settings for conviction voting in orogeny. It's already starting to, all the param parties have a version. So it's super cool. There is a param party right after this call, actually. Although this call might end a little early, so we'll have some space in between it. But I'm just going to stay right here and do the Params call. No, I guess we'll go to the Params channel. Go to the Params channel and come do your first Param party if you haven't been to one yet. But there's also a bunch tomorrow, and even one, or there's 2 tomorrow, and there's 1 on Saturday. So definitely. Oh, actually, the one on Saturday is not up here, but there is one on Saturday. It's on the TE calendar. I think I can see it. Yeah, it's at 9 a.m. Denver time. So 8 a.m. West Coast time. Same time as this. Nugget's hosting one on Saturday. But yeah, so there will be lots of fun. Definitely don't be shy. Come on in and help us design a $1.5 million economy. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Nate to talk about the plan for the Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks, Griff. So Spotlight is on hiatus. So we're trying to reimagine what the Spotlight is, what it means to have projects come in here and explain what they're doing. We're going to have the Commons upgrade coming up, and so we're going to be funding some of these projects that are asking for funds. And so we want to provide an appropriate platform for them to explain their project, what they want to accomplish within the field of token engineering, and give a chance for the community to engage with those projects properly. And so I'll be posting up on the forum some advice process for how you guys would like to see this happen, and see if we can get some type of ideas and consensus around what this TEC Spotlight is going to look like in the future. So I look forward to that discussion, and hopefully we can get something going here in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. And thank you all for hanging out. We get to end early today, so go enjoy your 10 minutes. And there's 2 things happening next. There is the NVC Book Club. Learn about how to own your own emotions this week. That's super cool. That's in the DAO Book Club server. And then in the Params voice channel, Param Party. Please come. It'll be a lot of fun. And see you all next week. And happy birthday to all of us.
Happy birthday.